introduction. Madam Rosalinda Rosales, the President and Chairman of the Board. Dr. Milagros Llano, Director for Administration. Professor Ray Vincent Aranya, the Acting Director for Academic Affairs. Deans of the different colleges. The Principal for Basic Education. Heads of the different services and departments, faculty and staff, dear graduates, family, friends, and loved ones of the graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. To my Muslim brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Iligan Capital College Class of 2013, congratulations. I am honored to be here as your commencement exercises guest speaker, celebrating with you this momentous milestone in your life, your graduation. But I understand that you have been sitting for quite a while. Kanino pa tayo magkakasama, alas 8, nakaupo na tayo. So, why don't we break the ice and start on a not so serious note? Let me share to you some of my favorite pickup lines. Nagbaon ako ng 10. Okay. Sabi nila, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Pero nung nakita ko ang picture mo, ang naisip ko ay 3 words lang. I love you. Ang pagmamahal ko sa iyo ay parang bilbil. Pilit ko man tinatago, halata pa rin. In a wedding ceremony, ang sabi ng priest to the bride, are you willing to give your body and soul to your wedded husband? The bride answered, tapos na po, Father. Anong height mo? Paano ka nagkasa sa puso ko? Masasabi mo ba na bobo ako kung ikaw lang naman ang laman ng utak ko? Ako na ang magbabayad sa tuition fee mo. Pag-aralan mo lang na mahalin ako. Sana magkasama tayo sa pila para pag may sumigaw na next at hindi mo narinig, tatanungin mo ako agad, tayo na ba? O graduate na kayo? Matalino ka ba talaga? Sige nga, sagutin mo ako. This one para naman dun sa mga nagmahal pero it was not reciprocated. Ang love parang bayad sa jeep. Minsan, hindi nasusuklian. And finally, ito na yung baon ko pang 10. Pwede bang i-turn off muna yung ilaw? Para tayo na lang ang mag-on. So, on to my speech. From the invitation letter which your good Director for Academic Affairs sent to me, I was informed that ICC, and I'm quoting from the letter, recognizes my accomplishments and professional training in molding the youth to become confident individuals, effective contributors, and responsible citizens. For that recognition, I am grateful and humbled. To put in simple words the gist of the invitation, I am tasked here and now to move you, to inspire you as you leave the portals of your beloved ICC. That's one big task, a huge task. But let me try. No, I will not just try. I can do it. Yes, I can do it. And I am positive. And this being positive and staying positive is the very core or the very heart of the message that I want to share to all of you. This is also in line with your theme, rising above the challenges of the times. To rise above the challenges of the times is to conquer, to defeat, to beat, and to triumph over the challenges of the times. Now let me begin my talk with rising above the challenges of the times in general terms. Later on, I will deal with specific challenges, the challenges which you could or would face as you enter the bigger world, the world outside the four corners of the school. How to be positive and how do you stay positive? It begins with a positive thought. Study shows that our thoughts, good or bad, tend to lead to a material thing. The environment and the experiences in life are the result of habitual and predominant thoughts. That is why we must learn to be positive, or at least to be more positive. Scholars on the topic offers various steps on how to be positive. Let me share to you 6 simple tips on how to be and to stay positive. Number 1 tip, remove or avoid negative influences. Even if it's a family member or a close friend, you must not tolerate anyone's bad behavior. Steer clear from it so that it will not rub off on you. Choose your friends wisely. The friends we surround ourselves with can have an overwhelming impact on our outlook, both good and bad. Let me share a personal story. I am the 10th child in a brood of 11. Pang-sampo po ako sa 11 na magkakapatid. Of the 9 na mas nakakatanda sa akin, 7 are boys. And all 7 hindi nakapagtapos ng college. Sa aking murang edad, I was around 7 to 8 years old. I keenly observed kung ano ang common denominator nila. Kung ano ang bagay na pare-pareho nilang ginagawa. And it was barkada. And by that I mean ang pakikipagbarkada na bad influence type. If hindi sila naglalaro ng basketball, always nakatambay sila sa may tindahan sa may kanto sa amin. And I have observed na halos lahat ng mga kabarkada ng mga kuya ko hindi rin nakapagtapos ng college. At dahil din sa barkada, nagsimula silang matutong magsigarilyo and God knows kung ano pa. At such a young age, nalagay sa isipan ko na kung gusto ko na may marating sa buhay, hindi ako dapat gumaya sa mga kuya ko. Ang naging conclusion ko noon, kung makikipagbarkada din ako, again, the barkada type na tumatambay lang sa kanto, hindi siniseryoso ang pag-aaral, I will end up like my big brothers. So I consciously put effort to avoid their ways. Ang mga ginagawa nila, yung mga sa pananaw ko ay mali, hindi ko ginawa. Sinubsub ko ang sarili ko sa aking pag-aaral, sa pagtulong sa aking mga magulang, sa mga gawain sa bahay at sa iba pang makabuluhang mga gawain. Because I knew and believed then that education will be my passport in reaching my ambitions. True enough, I ended differently. I ended up having only very few friends, but good friends. But it was a worthy compromise, for I have finished college and more. And all my kuyas agree with me now. They are now telling their children to avoid ang masyadong pakikipagbarkada and to follow my footprints, so to speak. So yun po, yung first tip ko sa inyo. Remove or avoid negative influences. The second tip is to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Replace I cannot with I can. Say I can often more than I can. Don't think it's impossible. Instead, think it is possible. There are both positive and negative aspects to most situations. We get to choose which ones we will focus on. And my obvious suggestion is for you to focus on the positive aspect. There's no sense in worrying about the negatives if they cannot be changed. Some parts of life are unfair. That's because life just is. So if you waste energy and happiness on the things you cannot change, you will only make yourself more frustrated. My third tip, smile. Yes, smile po. Can we all do that now? Smile. Many studies have demonstrated that even a forced smile can lift one's mood. We may also share positivity with others by flashing them with a brilliant smile. Smiling is a reward, not a risk. The only thing we risk when smiling is giving ourselves a little more happiness. At sa mga kapatid ko na Muslims, there is a hadith that a smile is a form of sadaqah. Every smile is a sadaqah. Number 4 tip, surround yourself with positive influences. Use the law of attraction. Have you heard of it? The law of attraction? It is the name given to the belief that like attracts like. And that by focusing on positive or negative thoughts, one can bring about positive or negative results. The law of attraction works both ways. Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. To illustrate, if we do something nice for someone else, especially if it's unexpected, there is a higher chance that that person will pay the favor back. Maybe not directly to us, but to someone else. Eventually, in a direct or indirect way, it will make its way back to us. It's also called karma. Number 5 tip. Do not sweat the small stuff. Often, we are confronted with things that seem important at the time. Akala natin yun na ang pinakamalaking issue sa mundo. But really, they are not an issue if we step back and have a proper perspective. So know the things that are truly important to you. According to a study, the following are considered by most people as important: health, safety and security, friends and family, love and happiness. Based on the same study, the following things are often confused with having lasting importance. And these are money, material objects, fame, and security. So focus on those things that are truly important to you. And the last tip to be positive is, do not be afraid of failure. To paraphrase former US President Franklin Roosevelt, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. We will all fall down and make mistakes, that's for sure. However, it's not how many times you fall that matters, but how many times you get back up that counts. Today, your graduation day, let this be the commencement. Let this be the start of a new positive you. Let this day be the first day of the rest of your life. Earlier, I said, after we talked about rising, about challenges in general terms, then I would delve on specific challenges. Now the question is, what are the challenges of the times? Well, we have the perennial problem about poverty, water and food supplies shortages, nuclear weapons, new world order, climate change, global warming, political violence, moral bankruptcy, global security, terrorism, to name a few. Surely all these problems, which I have just mentioned, are important and must be addressed. But those are not the problems or challenges which I would like to talk about with you. What I would like to talk about with you are the challenges which you could or would face as you enter the bigger world. As I said earlier, the world outside the four corners of the school. And the next and the most important question, how do you rise above these challenges? Let me tell you now that being a new graduate, you are a new graduate soon, later, in just a matter of minutes. Being a new graduate is tough. At times, it can seem like the world is against you. You would feel everything from the weight of your parents' expectations to the unspoken competition with your friends and classmates for scarce job. So what are the challenges ahead of you as a new graduate? Number one, debate between further higher education and job seeking. Do you continue to study or start straight away with seeking or applying for a job? That's the question. Many graduates don't have much choice in this matter. But for those who do have a choice, continuing to study, getting a master's degree or a Bachelor of Laws degree or a second course can lead to a greater results long term in terms of financial and job position. And also, it further helps distinguish yourself apart from other graduates. So that's one question which you might need to answer. To continue to study or to start applying and looking for a job. If you decide to start applying and looking for a job, what are the challenges you need to overcome? On top of the list is poor job market. Kulang ang trabaho. The job market is the biggest challenge that you, a new graduate, have to overcome. Because of the downturn in the economy, the unemployment rate for new graduates is a little high, unfortunately. So my advice is for you to network, to keep your eyes wide open for new job openings or vacancies. Then stay patient. You are going to have setbacks and days when, as I have said earlier, you would feel like the whole world is against you. But be patient. Diyan yung gagamitin yung pagiging positive. Mahirap maghanap ng trabaho these days. Dahil limited lang ang bakante o available na trabaho. So the real challenge is for you to keep your perseverance and confidence. Let's assume now that there is a job opening. So may trabaho available. Here is the scenario. You have just graduated from college with a good-looking degree. You feel on top of the world and that you are ready now to have your dream job. But here is the reality. You are one of the hundreds, or thousands even, in the same boat. While you feel as though you would be the best suited for a particular role or job, there can be hundreds of other applicants who feel the same way as you. So what can you do to differentiate yourself from the rest of the applicants? You need to ensure that your resume is in the top 5 to 10% of all resumes. That's the only way. A single mistake in your resume can be the difference between your resume ending up in the interview stock or in the trash bin. So how do you ensure that your resume is in the top 5 to 10% of all resumes? And this leads me to the second challenge which you will face. And the second challenge is lack of eligibility. Since ngayon lang kayo nag-graduate, I assume na wala pa kayo nito. Except for the civil service eligibility, pwede ang iba sa inyo meron na. Sino ang meron ng civil service eligibility? So, either sa professional or professional. Alright, kung wala pa, okay lang yan. If you plan to work in a government office, it is a must na magkaroon kayo ng CS eligibility. At the minimum is sub-professional, which will qualify you to first-level positions like clerk. For second-level positions, you need to have a CS professional eligibility to be qualified. Passing the CS exam will help ensure that your resume is in the top 5%. It also means that you are qualified. For your specific professions like teacher and criminology, you need to pass the board or licensure examinations given by the Professional Regulation Commission or PRC. Ngayon, siguro ang gusto nyong itanong sa akin kung ano ang sikreto ko to pass civil service at PRC exams. Gusto niyo ba malaman ang sikreto ko? Alright. Pero bago ko sabihin sa inyo ang sikreto ko kung paano pumasa, I have a confession to make. Ang aking IQ ay hindi po exceptional. In short, hindi po ako masyadong bright. Hindi ako pinanganak na genius or gifted child. Believe me, ako ay isang ordinaryong mag-aaral like you. Kahit hindi exceptional ang aking talino, pero I have passed every examination that I took. Yung iba nabanggit ni Vince. From civil service professional exam, licensure exam for teachers, exam for United Nations auditors, civil service executive exam, CPA board exam, Sharia bar, and Philippine bar. So how did I make it? If hindi naman po ako ganoon kamatalino, how did I pass all those exams? Ito na ang aking sikreto po. 3 P's. Ang DSWD merong 4 P's. Narinig niyo na yan? Ako meron akong 3 P's. The first P is preparation. Ang iba ang tawag dito, perspiration. Paghahanda. Every exam that I took, pinaghandaan at pinaghirapan ko. Para sa akin, ang exam ay parang gera yan. Pinaghahandaan kung gusto mo manalo. Huwag kang pumunta sa isang gera kung hindi ka handa, kung wala kang dalang armas at bala. So your next question maybe is, how do you prepare for an exam? My answer, and another secret of mine, 3 R's this time. R. Number 1, 3 R's. Number 1, read. Number 2, read again. Number 3, read again and again. Simple lang, di po ba? Pero mahirap gawin para sa iba, lalo na kung hindi nakapag-form ng study habit. But if you want to pass the exam, if you want to get the job, you have no choice. But you must read and read a lot. Naniniwala po ako na ang pinagkaiba ng mga pumasa sa hindi pumapasa ay ito. Ang pumasa, mas maraming time na ginugol sa pagbabasa, sa pagre-review. The more you read, the more prepared you become, and the more chances you will pass. Your next question maybe is, how much time do you need to prepare for an exam? Well, it depends on the exam. Ako po, in my case, for civil service exam, at least 2 months. ako nag-review. Every day yan for 2 months. For CPA and LET, 6 months ako nag-review. For the bar exam, I reviewed for 1 year. Ang pangalawang P po sa aking 3 Ps ay positive. Being and staying positive. Hindi ko na po i-explain ng mas mahaba for we have already talked about it thoroughly kanina. Ito lang. Remember the law of attraction na sinabi ko kanina? Ako po kasi, kapag nagsimula ako mag